We're going deep into the wild today, not the jungles or deserts you might expect, but the concrete jungle of a full-blown crisis. When disaster strikes, your home, your sanctuary can quickly become a death trap if you're not prepared. We're talking about bugging in, riding out the storm from the supposed safety of your own home. Sounds cozy, right? Well, it can be, but only if you avoid the critical mistakes that could cost you your life. We're going to expose those mistakes, those silent killers that can unravel even the most well-intentioned preppers' plans. Whether it's a natural disaster, economic collapse, or societal unrest, these mistakes can turn your world upside down. Get ready to take notes, because the information I'm about to share could be the difference between life and death. The wilderness, whether it's the Amazon rainforest or the aftermath of a hurricane, demands one thing above all else: a clear head. Panic is a killer, as deadly as any predator. You've prepped, you've planned, but when the moment hits, fear can paralyze you. That's why it's crucial to train your mind and body to react instinctively, to fall back on your training when the adrenaline surges. Imagine this: the power's out, chaos is erupting outside, and you're staring at your supplies, unsure of what to do first. This is where muscle memory kicks in. You've practiced securing your home, gathering your family, and implementing your emergency plans so many times that it becomes second nature. Run drills, visualize different scenarios, and practice until your responses are automatic. Train like your life depends on it, because in a crisis it just might. In the wild, blending in can be the difference between life and death. The same goes for bugging in. Maintaining a low profile, becoming practically invisible, is crucial when it comes to surviving a crisis. Desperation can turn your neighbors into threats. Every move you make, every light you turn on, could be a beacon to those who are less prepared. Keep your windows covered, your movements discreet, and your activities under wraps. Avoid attracting attention to your supplies or your preparedness. Study your neighborhood, identify potential hiding spots and escape routes, and learn to move silently and unseen. By maintaining strict OPSEC, you increase your chances of staying safe and protecting your resources. In a world gone mad, sometimes the strongest action is to disappear in plain sight. In the wild, you don't advertise your presence. You don't want to become prey. The same principle applies to prepping. Boasting about your stockpile or your survival skills might seem harmless, but it's like lighting a flare in a pitch-black forest. You're not attracting friends. You're attracting every hungry predator within a mile radius. Keep your preps close to your chest. Share your knowledge with those you trust implicitly, your immediate family or close-knit group, but be wary of broadcasting your preparedness to the outside world. The less people know about your resources, the safer you and your loved ones will be. Remember, loose lips sink ships, and in a crisis, your home is your ship. We create shelters to feel safe, to establish a barrier between ourselves and the harsh realities outside. But in a crisis, that illusion of safety can be shattered in an instant if your defenses are weak. Don't mistake your home for an impenetrable fortress. Reinforce your doors and windows, consider installing security bars or shutters, and create multiple escape routes. Remember, you're not just preparing for natural disasters, you're also preparing for the potential breakdown of law and order. Think like a medieval castle, built to withstand sieges and invasions. Your home should be no different. Security isn't just about physical barriers, it's about awareness, vigilance, and the ability to identify and respond to threats before they reach your doorstep. In the wilderness, flexibility is key to survival. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, you need to abandon your shelter and seek safety elsewhere. The same holds true for bugging in. Having a solid bug-out plan is crucial, even if you're initially planning to hunker down. What if your home becomes compromised? What if the situation deteriorates beyond your ability to stay put? You need an escape route, a pre-packed go bag, and a designated rendezvous point for your family or group. Plan for the unexpected, and remember, sometimes the most dangerous thing you can do is stay put. Be ready to leave everything behind and face the unknown. Fire. It can provide warmth, cook our food, and even purify our water. But it's also a relentless force of nature that demands respect. In a crisis, when emergency services are overwhelmed or non-existent, fire safety becomes paramount. Ensure you have multiple fire extinguishers strategically placed throughout your home. Check your smoke detectors regularly and have a fire escape plan for every room. Think about the materials you're using in your home, especially if you're relying on alternative heating or cooking methods. Fire is a double-edged sword. Be prepared, be vigilant, and never underestimate the power of this primal force. Water is life. We all know that, but in a survival situation it's easy to fixate on drinking water and forget about its other essential uses. Hygiene, sanitation, even cooking, they all require a surprising amount of water. Don't underestimate your water needs. Calculate how much water you'll need for drinking, cooking, and basic hygiene, and then double it. Consider alternative sources of water, like collecting rainwater or tapping into your water heater. Even if you have a well, you'll need a way to purify the water if the power goes out. In a crisis, conserving water and finding alternative sources could be the difference between staying healthy and succumbing to preventable illnesses. Water is a precious resource, and in a survival situation, it's not just about quenching your thirst. We follow the leave no trace principle. We pack out our waste, dispose of it properly, and minimize our impact on the environment. The same principles apply to bugging in, perhaps even more so. Imagine this: the sewage system is down, garbage collection has stopped, and your home is slowly becoming a breeding ground for bacteria and disease. Proper sanitation and waste management are crucial for maintaining a healthy living environment during a crisis. Have a plan for dealing with human waste, dispose of garbage safely, and practice meticulous hygiene. Don't wait for the stench of decay to remind you of this crucial aspect of survival. We often take clean air for granted, but in a crisis, especially if you're confined indoors, maintaining good air quality can be a matter of life and death. Using alternative heating or cooking methods indoors without proper ventilation can lead to a buildup of carbon monoxide, a silent, odorless killer. Invest in carbon monoxide detectors and ensure they're working properly. Ventilate your home regularly, even if it means opening windows for short periods. Consider the potential for dust, mold, and other airborne contaminants, especially if your home has been damaged. Breathing is something we do instinctively, but in a survival situation, it's crucial to be mindful of the air we breathe. Be prepared, take precautions, and don't let a lack of clean air be your downfall. We seek out multiple water sources. We don't put all our eggs in one basket because we know that things can change rapidly. The same principle applies to bugging in. Relying on a single source of water like a well or a municipal water supply is a risky gamble. What if the power goes out, the well runs dry, or the water supply becomes contaminated? Diversify your water sources. Collect rainwater, have a plan for purifying water from alternative sources, and consider investing in a water filtration system. Don't wait for your tap to run dry before you take action. Gathering supplies is essential, but it's only part of the equation. Stockpiling without a plan is like having all the ingredients for a gourmet meal but no recipe. You might have a mountain of food, but without a strategy for storing, rotating, and utilizing those resources, they'll be gone before you know it. Don't just hoard supplies. Create a detailed inventory of what you have, establish a rotation system to prevent spoilage, and develop a plan for rationing your resources. Think about your nutritional needs, your family's dietary restrictions, and the shelf life of different types of food. Stockpiling without a plan is like navigating a maze blindfolded. You might stumble upon a few lucky breaks, but eventually, you're going to hit a dead end. We protect our food from the elements and scavengers. We store it properly, we preserve it, and we make sure it lasts. The same principles apply to bugging in. Improper food storage can lead to spoilage, contamination, and even attract pests. Store your food in airtight containers, keep it in a cool, dry place, and inspect it regularly for signs of deterioration. Think about the potential for rodents, insects, and other pests that might be attracted to your food stores. Take steps to prevent infestations and have a plan for dealing with them if they occur. Your food is your lifeline in a crisis, and protecting it should be a top priority. Adaptability is the key to survival. We observe, we learn, and we adjust our plans based on the ever-changing circumstances. The same principle applies to bugging in. No matter how well you prepare, there will always be unforeseen challenges, unexpected obstacles, and situations that demand flexibility. Don't be afraid to deviate from your initial plan, to improvise, and to adapt to the situation at hand. Be open to new information, learn from your mistakes, and never stop seeking ways to improve your chances of survival. Remember, the only constant is change, and those who can adapt, who can embrace the unexpected, are the ones who will ultimately thrive. So there you have it, 13 deadly bugging and mistakes that could cost you your life. Remember, knowledge is power, but it's useless without action. Take what you've learned, apply it to your own preps, and never stop refining your skills. The world is an unpredictable place, and the best way to navigate its challenges is to be prepared. Stay adaptable, never stop learning, and always trust your instincts. Thanks for watching, and remember, out here, we're all in this together.